What's good, y'all? Welcome to my review for SummerSlam 2023. Now, first thing I want to tell you guys right here and now, this is the last SummerSlam review you guys will be getting for the foreseeable future because after WrestleMania 40, I am going to be done. I will be retiring from doing wrestling reviews per pay-per-views. Mostly just because, with my schedule nowadays, now that of course I got a job now, so, don't have as much time and it's kind of iffy when, I'll be available and I just don't really enjoy it like I used to back in the day, a few years ago when I was doing, back when I was doing college and high school, and just, doing these reviews so late up at night and then staying up till 3 in the morning or however long it usually takes for me to record the audio and then edit it for you guys and then upload it as soon as it's done. So, yeah, after WrestleMania 40, I'm washing my hands of wrestling videos. Obviously, I'll still be live tweeting the shows. Maybe I'll do community posts for future pay-per-views if it's something that really impresses me. So you guys want to see my reviews in there, you got there. Maybe I'll post some community posts on them. But yeah, after WrestleMania 40, man, I'm done. It was a good run, man. I had a lot of fun doing the reviews for a while, but like I said, I'm just not enjoying it anymore. It's becoming really tedious, especially with how long these usually take and how long I'm staying up. But yeah, regardless of, man, let's jump right into the actual show. So we started the show off with Ricochet and Logan Paul. First things at first, I have to say, this match was fucking incredible and an excellent way to start off the show. Now, as you guys know, if I mentioned in previous videos, you guys know I don't like Logan Paul, that much. Just not a particularly big fan of him. And all that. I mentioned that before in countless other previous videos that wrestling video that he is a part of the card of. But once again, man, I have to give the man his dues. He is a phenomenal wrestler, and once again, he proved, because first of all, this is probably Ricochet's best match he's had since his match with Johnny at TakeOver Phoenix, I believe it was. This is easily one of his top 3, top 5 best matches he had in WWE, period, man. Obviously, most of that list will probably be filled with NXT matches because, that's back when it was actually properly booked and everything. But either way, man, this match was fucking phenomenal, man. And once again, I gotta give props to Logan, man. First of all, like I said, the dude's an amazing worker. The man knows his way around the ring, but I have to give props to this man's heel work. This man knows how to work a crowd because throughout the entire match, he's just egging them on, just pissing them off and everything, man. And he is just orchestrating this crowd beautifully to his music, man. It's something, man. So, I gotta give Logan Paul a shout out for that because he was great in this match, man. He had with him doing the leg drop thing with Hulk Hogan and just be like, oh, what? I can't hear you. Fuck you. Logan knows how to work a crowd, man. I gotta give him his due for his heel work because he obviously is a much better heel than he was a babyface at one time against Roman. I guess it made sense because, Roman's still technically a heel, so I guess a heel versus heel match, someone had to be the babyface in that match, I guess. But, yeah, glad to see he's, only heel. This man should never turn babyface because, 1, people don't like him enough for them to believe him as babyface, and 2, he's just better as a heel in general, man. And 3, y'all, like I said, damn near nobody likes this guy. But regardless of that, man, of course, you had the whole thing with Sam and Logan be like, oh, your girl gonna say my name and raise my hand, all that shit. Which, can we talk about Corey Graves on commentary real quick? Bro, listen. I know the man is just is a heel commentator. He is a color commentator. He is a heel commentator. This is his thing. I get that. But man was doing far too much this match. Bro was going up oh, Samantha's wearing Logan's colors tonight. Oh, I saw a twinkle in her eyes. And the dude just keeps going off about these fucking conspiracies he has about how that somehow Samantha's into him, and that she's into Logan and not her fiance Ricochet. It was just ridiculous. Bro, I understand he's a heel commentator and this is kind of his thing, but Jesus Christ, man was doing far too much this match, man. Just far too much. Anyway, first of all, I love Ricochet's gear. Given that we were in Detroit, I'm pretty sure he was dressed up as Optimus Prime, which you'll love to see, man. The movie just released on Paramount Plus, so watch it there. And also check out my review, which I recently posted, so yeah, shameless fun. But anyway, we started the match off with, of course, Logan doing some heel work by shining up Ricochet's bald head, and then Ricochet starts laughing at him before he just slaps the taste out of his mouth, and we're off to the races from there. Like I said, you got Sam getting in there. They would do some moves off the top rope, Logan would do a neck breaker off on the apron while Ricochet was still on the leaning off on the ropes, hit it down to the ground before he then goes to kiss his girl. And Ricochet's head like bounces off the airman, looked like it premature, and then of course kisses his girl. Before they going out there, they was looking over at Samantha, be like, oh, Samantha, and all that. And Samantha's just looking at him like, this motherfucker, this nigga. We continue on. They would actually do that move they did in Money in the Bank where they were both doing that Spanish fly off the apron into a table. They tried to do that again, although I don't know if this move is just cursed because first of all, it looked a lot better because they were actually able to get their footing because they weren't trying to balance off of the ropes, But it looks like they still didn't completely stick the landing this time. It looks like they kind of didn't completely get it, but they got most of it. They made it work before they both landed on the floor and they just started beating each other up for a little bit while. That spot looked really cool, man. Of course, you got Logan Paul's a splash he did off the top rope from one side of the ring onto the other. That looked pretty crazy. As the match would progress on, Logan would hit a leg drop a la Hulk Hogan, although he didn't do it completely like Hulk Hogan. I think he took some cues from Melina, because I'm pretty sure Melina used to do a leg drop, but as a splits sort of thing. I might be wrong on that one, but I'm pretty sure Melina used to do that. I don't know if that was meant to be a tribute to Melina. I doubt Logan can even fucking spell Melina, but that's something I know. Because I'm pretty sure Melina used to do that as her finisher or something back then. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure that was Melina's move, which Ricochet would counter that with the most electrifying move in sports entertainment today, the People's Signature Press. Seriously, does the people's elbow, then does a standing shooting star press, man. It was fucking hilarious. That wasn't the only old school reference in there. He would later on eventually go for Macho Man's elbow drop when he tried to go for that one after Logan was focusing on his ribs, which Ricochet was selling, and he was but goes for it, but of course, because how long it took him to get out of the way. And yeah, eventually we would also have him hitting I forget what they would call a destruction kick or something. It's a GTS, but instead of hitting the opponent with your knee, it's with your fucking foot, like you're going for a Pele kick or something. He hits him on there. He hits Logan Paul with that, goes back from the ropes, gets back to him. Ricochet picks him back up into the purple Rainmaker, Shadows to the Dream, before going for a moonsault for another near fall. That whole sequence looked amazing. Eventually, it would go for another 450 splash, that spinning splash move. But eventually Logan would get out of the way again. Some dork would come in there and give him some brass knucks, uses them, hides them from the ref. 1, 2, 3, Logan wins. And also, I loved Michael Cole in commentary here, where he said, "Well, the match was awesome, but the ending sucked." Seriously, man, Michael Cole has had a complete career resurgence when he doesn't have Vince screaming in his ear, man. You really can see just how good of a commentator he actually is, man. And shout out to him, man. He's been with the company for so long. Now he's going to be doing Raw and SmackDown. So shout out to Michael Cole, man. He is an amazing commentator, man. Although I got to call out Corey Graves real quick. And I'm like, bro, stop the cap. Because when they announced that he was going to do Raw, he was like, oh, yes, I am here, the presence of the GOAT. I'm like, dude, come on. There ain't no way you actually believe that, man. Listen, Michael Cole is an amazing commentator, but he ain't on Moro and JR's level. Let's not kid ourselves here. He is an amazing commentator, but he ain't on JR and Moro's levels, man. Let's not kid ourselves here. He ain't that good. But yeah, I was like, bro, stop the cap. Stop the cap right now. There ain't no way you actually believe that. Ain't no way you actually think he's better than JR at the very least. But regardless of such, man, on that, this was a phenomenal match, man. Watch it. Definitely, there's one match I would definitely want you guys to go back to watch. You guys missed the show. This is definitely one of them, man. This match was fucking incredible. Also, after the match, he was looking at Sam, be like, say it again, because to announce his name again. And Sam was just looking at him like, this fucking guy. She was just shaking her head, not having any of it. He was like, whatever. Like I said, Logan knows how to work as a heel, man. He knows how to work a crowd. Next up, we have was Brock Lesnar and Cody Rhodes, which they said this is they have 4 main events, and I find that one of the main events is the second match on the card. Just thought that was funny. You think for sure that was that had 4 that was considered a main event, they put this at least a little bit later in the show, but whatever. But yeah, Brock, he likes to get out of the building as soon as fucking possible. So regardless of such, man, this match was amazing. They cooked with this match because it's no secret that basically all of us have not been a big fan of this feud. Bro, when we were saying, maybe Cody needed to face a little more adversity for his road to WrestleMania, we didn't mean this shit, bro. nah, dog, this ain't it. Because this, first of all, we never knew why they were feuding in the first place, and just the way they have booked Cody has been ridiculous. Like, their first match at Backlash was great, and the blood certainly enhanced it. But then when we started adding the cast, this shit was just fucking ridiculous at this point, bro. The second we start adding the cast, bro, this shit was just, this was ridiculous, bro. The whole thing with the cast and all that shit, like, this ain't it, and this wasn't it, man. Night Champions happened, whatever. But this match, man, they definitely saved the best for last, and this match was absolutely incredible. And I didn't even have the high hopes for the match, especially with the promo pack that they like aired like right before the match started. I'm like, Jesus Christ, what the fuck is this shit? Like, I did not go in this match with high hopes. Really had any expectations or really much to even really enjoy it. But like I said, I love this match, man. This was another one of my favorites on the card. So first of all, we started out with Cody going fast and furious on Brock Lesnar, getting from behind, hitting him with a bunch of moves, getting him on the outside and going for a suicide dive. But Brock would eventually get back on the offense and he would be dealing the blow. Suplex City, yada yada. Now first of all, before we continue on, I have to mention like, somewhere, somehow, I went back to rewatch the show to see when it happened, and I couldn't see it. Somehow, Brock's trunks get like torn up, like in the middle, like in the early parts of this match, and then from there they just get more and more torn as the match goes on. And by the end of it, his shorts are completely ripped off. You can clearly see his underwear. So for y'all that are into that, there you go. You get to see Brock's underwear. Rejoice, I guess. Seriously, I was like, and I tweeted about this on the show. So I'm like, when did it? Because I didn't even notice they got ripped off before the end of the match. But by the end of it, like, I didn't notice it before. But as the match progressed, when I went back to rewatch it to see if I could figure out where it was, you could see his shorts his trunks getting progressively more torn up as the match went on. But like, when did that happen? Did he get caught on something? Did Brock himself rip them off accidentally? Like, how the hell did his shorts get ripped off? Get ripped that badly, bro? What the hell happened? But regardless of such on that, I tend to bring though because I just thought that was funny. By the end of the match, when his shorts were completely ripped open, and dude, like I said, you could see his underwear and everything, bro. I just thought that was funny. Anyway, Brock is back on the upper hand. Suplex City eventually takes Cody out to the outside. And from here, we get to like one of the big parts of the match where Cody is just like struggling to get back on his feet and get back in the ring. He gets in there, Brock takes him out. He gets back in there, he gets pushed off the apron. He gets in there again, clothesline to the outside. He gets in there again. Brock just rips him out, just like pulls him out from the bottom. F5 on the apron, on the F5 onto the floor. I don't know why I was slipping on that. The floor. And like, you know, he's like telling him like to stay down. It's only gonna get worse from here. Stay down. And then like Cody manages to get up again. He gets in the ring. Brock by this point is infuriated. I have to say, Brock and Cody are both excellent storytellers when they want to be, especially more specifically in Brock's case, man. But the story they tell them they did in this match was just phenomenal, especially with this section in particular. I think this is where we really get to see, you know, the storytelling this match is done really well with this part of the match, man. This part was awesome. Anyway, he gets in there again. Brock is enraged. He gets him out again. F5 this time onto the announce table, and he like in Michael Cole, man. Like once again, Michael Cole, bro. Ugh, this man has had a career resurgence as of late, man. Like I said, I still wouldn't put him on the same level as I would put Mauro Ranallo and JR as like the two greatest play-by-play commentators that have ever touched a wrestling booth. But Michael Cole, man, he is right under them, man. He is right under them in my personal opinion, man. Like, but yeah, anyway. But yeah, he was great, especially he was like just pleading with Cody to stop. Don't do it. He will destroy you. Like, Cole was amazing in this match. But eventually, Cody managed to get into the ring again, and he like slowly gets himself back up there using the ropes for leverage. This whole thing before Cody's like, come at me, bro. And they just start going at it, bro. Fucking amazing. More suplexes and just, this part of the match was just fantastic. As the match would progress on, Brock would actually get his arm hit onto the post. Then they would get at the outside. Cody would use a steel steps to hit him into his already injured arm. Then went for a disaster kick, excuse me. The Cody cutter, and then the Cody cutter from the top rope for a near fall. Eventually, Brock would lock in the Kimura lock, but Cody would and managed to get to the ropes, although he kind of slipped off and didn't really get it the first time, but he managed to get it the second time. The match would progress onward. Then Cody would shove Rock into the exposed turnbuckle, which he did previously by ripping it off when Rock was going for his suplexing sprees. Hits him into the exposed turnbuckle, hits his own Kimura lock, which Brock managed to get out there by just lifting him up and throwing him right back down to the ground. The match would progress onward. 3 crossroads to finally win the match. And this is when you can see Rock's shorts are completely ripped open and you can see his underwear. It was like right here when I noticed. I was like, what the hell? When did his shorts get ripped off? So yeah, phenomenal match, man. Eventually they would have, after the match, Cody and Brock would like shake hands, and Cody and Brock would like lift his arm up there, which actually you can see Cody's face. The man was completely flabbergasted. He's like, what the fuck is going on? Which I don't know if that was a mixture of both storyline and also because this also wasn't planned. Brock did this all himself. This was completely spontaneous. This wasn't like planned or anything. So it seemed like in like the little smile there was both kind of genuineness of like, oh shit, that's kind of cool, and also kind of a bit of storyline. I couldn't really tell, but I think Cody might have been like legitimately shocked. He was like, what the fuck is going on here? But yeah, man, phenomenal match. Easily the best of their trilogy, man, and looks like this feud is finally over. Weird that we never got to know why they were even feuding in the first place, but they gave us an amazing match, and I'd say that's enough. But yeah. Anyway, then we had the Battle Royal match. I barely paid attention when this match was on. Almost gets in there. He has a bunch of eliminations, but thankfully, they all meant to get him out there, and LA Knight wins the match. It's a start. Let's see if they'll continue pushing him and actually giving him some titles. We'll have to wait and see on that, but it's a start at the very least for LA Knight. Yeah! Next was Ronda and Shayna, and honestly, this match was fine. It was completely fine. Very smooth. Hell, I would say it was a good match. I actually enjoyed myself while I was watching this match. Yeah. Now apparently, word on the street is Ronda is heading back to the UFC. So it seems like this is going to be her last match in the E before she goes back to MMA in the UFC. And she put over Shayna. Hopefully, this means that NXT Shayna is finally going to return. We will see the real Shayna Baszler, NXT Shayna Baszler, finally make her return. Who knows? But the match was fine. I love Shayna's gear. She looked amazing. I love her makeup that she had with her eyes and her hair braided up. Looked amazing, man. I liked Ronda's gear because she actually was rocking MMA gear, her usual UFC gear, but instead of saying UFC, it said WWE on it, which I thought was a nice touch. So, women go at it. I did like the opening where they were like having the ref go in there, be like, hey, this is under MMA rules, touch gloves, all that shit. I thought that was pretty cool. Anyway, Shayna would eventually get in a sleeper hold for the win, as Ronda would pass out. So yeah, good match, very serviceable. I actually kind of enjoyed it. Hell, this might have been the best match of Ronda's second run with the E, and yeah, fine. Good match overall. I think I enjoyed it. Shayna won, so hopefully this means that we're going to actually getting NXT Shayna back. We'll have to wait and see on that. Next up was Drew McIntyre and Walter for the Intercontinental Championship. Now with this match, a part of me was expecting that Drew was going to win the match and defeat Walter's reign and everything. Given the reports we've gotten about Drew being unhappy, he wants to leave, he isn't happy with creative. I thought to be as like a piece of like, hey bro, we have plans for you. They're going to give him the Intercontinental Championship and have him beat Walter. Now, at this point, what I thought they already did, he already passed Honky Tonk Man's reign, because I thought he did by this time. But then when they mentioned that he's like 30 days away from tapping, I'm like, yeah, he ain't losing the belt. They're going to give him Honky Tonk's reign, and then we can talk about him dropping the belt, which is what happened. This match was still a great match. These two started out by feeling each other out. They would have go for some shoulder tackles, but Drew managed to get Walter off his feet. Eventually, they would go at the outside. Walter would slam him, would lift him, and I forget what the move's called, back suplex or something. Lifts him up and threatens and drops him right down on the steel steps. Which, given Drew's reaction, sucked. Oh. That's literally what he sounded like when he got up there. As the match would continue on, they would have a chop off, which was great. Drew would go for his Claymore kick, doing the whole 3, 2, 1 thing. And of course, Walter more times would either counter it with his own shotgun drop kick or just get out of the ring. Eventually, Drew would get up on the top rope, going for some sort of move, but Walter was able to push him up, have him fall right on the top rope on his nuts, which of course even though we all know wrestling is staged and everything, and they're always trying to protect each other, I'm sure no matter what, that always sucks, man, because you are making direct contact with your nuts to those things, and those and I mentioned a couple of times in the past, those aren't ropes, those are like metal rods tightened to shit to make sure they got to make sure they're right and everything, man. So regardless, that shit sucks. Regardless, I'm sure it does. Either way, Drew falls off there. Walter goes for a splash into a clothesline, into the powerbomb for the 1, 2, 3. Great match overall. Great IC title match, and yeah. Walter's been awesome as the Intercontinental Champion. Also, I gotta ask this: what is up with like the things that I think Kaiser is his name, Ludwig Kaiser, I believe is the guy that does that whole thing during the announcements. Why does that dude do like 15 spins with Walter's jacket when he takes off? Like every time Walter takes his jacket off, this dude's right behind him spinning it around like 15 times for some reason. Like, what's with all the spins? Is it just to look cool? Is there a particular reason why he spins it around so much? Anyone else find that kind of weird? But regardless of such, man. Yeah, that was awesome, man. Just a fantastic match, just a great match overall, man. And yeah, then we had Seth Rollins and Finn Balor. This was arguably match of the night. At least it was up there, man, because this match was fucking cool. So first off, Finn made his entrance. We see that he actually had like this like makeup or whatever on his arm, the same shoulder that got injured at their first match at SummerSlam back in 2016. That set 7 up. Looked great, looked amazing. So then Seth comes out there rocking the Injustice vest, the same vest he wore back during his match he had with Finn Balor back at that SummerSlam. Now, I kind of wish. Now, it's actually kind of weird that he didn't go full on with it, considering, when he faced off against Roman, he donned full on Shield gear and wrestled in the Shield gear. So I wonder why he didn't also wear the pants. I don't know, maybe he lost them, maybe they don't fit him no more, whatever the case may be. But then again, if you pay attention to his pants, you do still see the, like, Injustice insignias on them still, a little bit. There's still a little bit of the Injustice gear in there and the new gear he was rocking tonight. But I do kind of wish he went full on with it and wore the pants as well. But he brought up the vest, which is pretty cool to see. So he gets in the ring, they do their little thing, and then like when the announcer's announcing him, he literally throws his jacket right at Finn as he like spreads his arms out doing the whole whoa thing. But as they're doing that, Finn starts attacking them and we're off to the races. Finn is predominantly targeting his arm, the same arm that Finn got injured with was it a separated shoulder deal, like dislocated shoulder during that match in SummerSlam. I can't remember the exact injury, but whatever the case may be, he was targeting that shoulder, that arm of Seth Rollins, doing a lot of arm bars and just submission holds, just to further damage and injure the arm. As the match would progress onward, Seth would hit like 3 suicide dives on a row into Finn Balor, which was great. Finn would actually go for a buckle bomb into the barricade, very much similar to what Seth did to him and how he got his arm injured, or shoulder, injured in the first place 7 years ago. So that was a really cool spot that they did. They're going back to that. Once again, continues targeting the arm as the match progresses onward. The other members of the Judgment Day would soon follow suit, man. And Dave and Finn is like telling them to get away. We're not going to Plan B. We are staying to Plan A. And he tells Damon to get off. This causes a distract that Seth uses to his advantage. Once again, manages for a quick pinfall, but once again a near fall. As the match would progress onward, he then managed to kick out there. Damien would punch Seth Rollins, and then Finn would once again go for the Finn would then go for the coup de grace on for the pin, but once again, it was a pedigree. I don't know why I'm getting the match mixed up here. For a pedigree, once again near fall, which that was right. I thought the match was over there. I legit thought that Finn was gonna win this match, honestly. So I'm very curious what they're gonna do with Judgment Day from now on, because obviously there's gonna be some shit going on between Damien and Finn about what's going on with Money in the Bank. So I'm curious to know where that's going to go. I'm probably sure they're probably maybe going to have one more match, maybe, because I don't think Seth is completely out of this yet, but we'll have to wait and see on that. Anyway, as I was saying, he goes for the pedigree, near fall. Finn's mouth is also bleeding throughout a good chunk of this match for whatever reason. I don't know what he got hit on that caused his mouth to start bleeding, but his mouth started bleeding. The match progressed onward. Finn would start telling Damien, "Okay, we're going to Plan B. We're going to Plan B," and then he would then bring in the briefcase after we had some stuff with Dom where he got cursed, which of course got a huge pop. Dom sold it beautifully, by the way, as well. The man knows how to curse Dom. Anyway, so he gets Damien in there. He brings in the briefcase, slides it into the ring, goes over to the other side to distract the ref. Finn starts to get it ready before he uses it, but then Seth curb stomps him onto the briefcase for the 3 count, man. Phenomenal match, man. Just so many great near falls in this match, man, and definitely I'm very curious to know where they're going to go with the storyline with Judgment Day, Finn, and Damian Priest. At this point, I'm wondering if they might do a third match, and then Finn will win that match, but not Dean. I don't know why I keep saying Dean, but then Damian will go and cash in on him. I don't know. That could be where they're going with this and just fully breaking up the Judgment Day, or at least maybe kicking out Finn out of the group. We'll have to wait and see on that, but I'm definitely curious to know where this storyline is going to be going on with the Judgment Day. Phenomenal match, man, as you would expect from Finn and Seth Rollins, man. And yeah, just a great match, just a phenomenal match in general. Next up was a women's match between Bianca, Asuka, and Charlotte. First of all, this is a fantastic match, and obviously we have got what happened in the ending with Io, but we'll get there in a minute. But obviously, I'm a very happy man for that. But overall, this match was a fantastic triple threat. The ladies absolutely killed it. And yeah, first and foremost, we have to talk about Bianca's entrance was fucking ridiculous, man, because this match was sponsored by C4 Energy, apparently, I guess, considering it was all over the ring and everything. And actually in the press conference after the show, Cody actually taste tested it, and it's like, it's good. So yeah, if y'all saw that on Twitter, that clip was pretty funny. But anyway, Bianca came out when she made her entrance. She literally came out with this energy drink, sipped it, and started posing with it for a few seconds before she actually started doing her entrance properly. And I'm like, what the fuck is this? This looks absolutely ridiculous. So anyway, the ladies would start up the match. Charlotte would go in out trying to go after everyone, but most of the ladies, but Io and Asuka, not Io. I will get to the Io in a second. Asuka and Bianca would dodge the attacks before Asuka and Bianca were going at it for a bit. As the match would continue on, Charlotte would go for a spear onto Bianca, but before she can capitalize, Asuka locks her into the Asuka lock, manages to break out there before we get to the outside, where Charlotte goes for her move, which it looks like she overshot it, because it looks like she kind of missed Bianca a little bit, but regardless of such. So eventually Bianca would hit a powerbomb onto Asuka, but onto Charlotte, Asuka would come out of nowhere and lock her into the Asuka lock before Charlotte would go for a double pinfall on both of them. As the match would progress onward, Charlotte would throw Bianca over the top rope, and she would hit her knee on the steel steps. Or at least that's how they sold it as. Because first of all, they only showed you one angle of it. They didn't show you from the outside, which I think means that Bianca didn't actually land on her knee on the steel steps, because she probably would have shattered her knee completely if she did that. But it looks like she kind of saw where she jumped over it, maybe had her hands hit the steel steps to give her the sound and everything. But at first I was kind of worried that she might have actually got hurt, because especially when they were bringing out the other medical staff as well to aid her, and Bianca was selling it beautifully. But given the fact they weren't showing us multiple angles of it, and more just showed the same one, kind of made me think that more likely this is all just selling, that she's just selling since she isn't actually hurt. Which good, thank God she was. Because anyway, so eventually Asuka and Charlotte would go out. They would have a little exchange while Bianca is kind of walking off to the ramp onto the outside. But eventually, as they continue on, and Asuka and Charlotte would lock in the figure eight, Bianca would say fuck this shit and start stumbling her way over to the ring. And I gotta say, Bianca was selling this beautifully, man. Her whole performance right here, from when she was getting from when she got quote unquote injured up to here, man, she just sold it beautifully as she's stumbling, crawling, tripping over herself, trying to get back on the ring, man. She sold this beautifully, man. Absolutely beautifully. So she eventually managed to get on top rope, hits a forfeit, and by the way, by this point, Charlotte's all the way fully up in a bridge into the figure eight, got it locked in on Asuka, hits a 450 off the top rope onto Charlotte, which looked amazing, man. Goes for the pinfall, and we get a near fall. And Shane and Bianca's face, man, sold this beautifully. Just chef's kiss, man. Bianca did such an amazing job. Like, she sold the pin beautifully, man. She was incredible right here. But eventually, these two ladies would go after each other, and Bianca said something, bitch. I couldn't quite make out what she was saying. Charlotte was coming like, come on. They start teaming off each other. This whole exchange was fucking awesome, man. Eventually, Charlotte would lock Bianca into the figure eight, but then Asuka would come out there with the miss, where Bianca would eventually manage to get the pinfall on Asuka. And, you know, Bianca celebrated, like, yay, Bianca's champion again, great. Io's music starts playing. Her and Bailey, excuse me, are running up to the ramp like a bat out of hell. Then Bailey is grabbing the fucking Mike Cotton's briefcase and just hitting everybody with it, man. It was kind of awesome, man. Before Io gives it back to Io, and Io cashes it in. She's like, come on, get this, come on, ring the bell. Hits the moonsault. 1, 2, 3, and now Io is champion. And actually, interesting, I didn't notice this when I first watched it, when I went back to check it. They actually mentioned Stardom on commentary, which once again shows you just, you know, even though Triple H isn't fully in control, you definitely see his influence, because, you know, if this was Vince completely, they would never mention Stardom at all. But the magic that Michael Cole said, from the world of Stardom to the top of the world, when she won the belt, man, I thought that was a nice touch. And actually, Stardom actually posted a picture of Asuka. It looks like someone just grabbed their phone, took a picture of their screen with Io holding the belt up from the Stardom official Twitter account, which was kind of interesting when I saw that on my feed. I was like, oh shit, Stardom retweeted this. Well, goddamn. You know, posted something. So that was actually pretty cool to see. So yes, even so, I guess Stardom was watching, or like whoever they got running their Twitter account was watching the show and made sure to post and make a post about Io, which, you know, you like to see. Anyway, so, yeah, man, obviously, you guys know I love Io Shirai. If you guys have been long-time subscribers to the channel from her NXT days, you guys know she's like one of my favorite female wrestlers currently, man, and she's just made. So, obviously, I'm extremely happy that she's now finally the women's champion. And Dakota was also there as well. She would come in there and, you know, celebrate with them. And, of course, Michael Cole kind of mentioned that, like, last year, SummerSlam, Damage Control made their arrival, and this year, Io becomes champion, man. Just great, just amazing all around. Obviously, this definitely begs question, whatever going to happen next. I do hope with Payback coming out, being the next pay-per-view, I do hope that we get maybe a singles match between Io and Asuka for the women's title match, because I'd really like to see those two ladies just burn the house down together, because you know they would tear it down, man. Or more than likely, maybe we get like a triple threat with her and Bianca in there too. Either way, man, I would love to see either match. Perfectly the singles match between Io and Asuka, because I would just love to see. But Bianca's amazing as well, so if they made a triple threat, I'm sure the match would still be amazing. Anyway, man, we saw how great Io and Bianca were in their match at Backlash as well. So yeah, hopefully we do see one of these two matches up for Payback or sometime in the near future, because I want to see Io and Asuka going at it, man, in some form or fashion. But hopefully we'll see a day, and I'm obviously excited and happy that Io is finally champion, man. Great to see it, man. You love to see it. Then we had the main event, Jey Uso versus Roman Reigns. Now, obviously there's a lot of talk about this match, what would happen with Jimmy and everything, which we'll get to that in a second. First and foremost, bro, we gotta talk about Jay's entrance real quick, because, man, the audience was clearly behind it, which obviously they were, you know, given the storyline. But, like, bro, they were, like, really into his entrance, bro. You know, they were singing along to his music around the end of it, you know, kind of matching his hand movements when he got into the ring, man. It was actually pretty crazy to see. Of course, Roman then makes his entrance, and we gotta talk about Paul Heyman real quick. Because I gotta say, his antics and what he does around the ring really does enhance these matches a lot. Because, well, first off, during the announcements, even though it looks like Paul has kind of has stopped the thing of him just ripping the mic down the announcer's head and doing the announcement himself for, like, Roman or Brock or whatever, you could, if you were paying attention to the background, you could see that he's still doing the thing where he's like, Roman, he's still doing the entire spiel, like, in the background if you're paying attention, which I thought was pretty funny during the announcements. And then once the match gets away, you know, you got him and Jay going out and be like, he's your cousin, he's your blood, he's your tribal chief, you know, and, like, you would continue on. There'd be other moments throughout the match that he would do that. And, like, there was one time where Corey mentioned on commentary that he was crying, which You couldn't, which the cameras never picked up on or showed you it, so I don't know if he actually was crying or not. I mean, knowing Paul Heyman, maybe he was, bro. The way he was sounding, bro, was like, when he was like begging with Jay, like, please, he's your tribal chief. Like, seriously, Paul Heyman is low-key always the MVPs these matches. Like, then you went like last year at SummerSlam when he was giving Brock the belts, be like, there, it's yours, take him. But I will say, if we were to compare the main event to last year's match and this match, I would say that overall, if we're talking just storyline, obviously this match is way better than the Brock match in terms of storytelling. But if we're talking like an overall entertainment value in just the match itself, I probably would go more towards the Brock match, just from how batshit insane it was, and of course Michael Cole finally being able to spread his wings for once when he was like, "For the love of God, rest up, count faster." You know, Michael Cole was going off. You had the fucking tractor or whatever the fuck that was that Brock brought out there to like lift up the ring. Shit was crazy. If you were to compare this to his other matches we had with Jay, I think this might be my favorite of the three. I don't know if it's either between that or the Hell in a Cell match. I don't really know for sure, but I think I like this match just a tiny bit more. I don't know. Tell me what you guys think in the comments. But anyway, the match begins. Start over the collar of a tie before they get into the corner. Roman does this thing where he just starts pushing Jay, and then Jay pushes him right back, man. That was pretty cool. We were off to the races from there. Roman would hit, Jay would hit a suicide dive onto Roman onto the outside, which I think he also hit like another one that he like almost kind of missed. Where I don't think he was actually going for like a traditional suicide dive. He was more or less kind of going for like a midair spear kind of thing, going for Roman's midsection when he was a little bit off to the side. In the corner, in one of the corners by the ramp, where the entranceway is. So you had that. Then eventually, you had them going out to the outside where they brought in the steel chairs. Eventually, this is also when he would, and the crowd would be chanting, "We want tables, we want tables." Jay would, of course, give the people they want. This was also when he was like arguing with where Paul was pleading with him, be like, "Please, he's your blood, he's your cousin, your tribal chief." Well, he's holding the beads, which also one thing I forgot to mention that I thought was really cool about this match. Right before the match begun, and like the ref was asking for the beads, I forget what the full name of them were. He actually he didn't give them to the ref. He went up to Jay and says, "If you beat me, I'll give these to you. Not him, me. I'll give them to you," which I thought was pretty cool, man. The tribal chief, man, it's just been so good, man. I love the tribal chief. It's like, bro, it's gonna suck what's gonna happen with Roman after this whole storyline's done, because, you know, once he loses the title, you know, we're done. I don't know if he's going to maybe keep the tribal chief gimmick and then just go more babyface, if he's going to maybe go back to the big dog, if he's going to do another gimmick, or if he just straight up retires at that point and just goes over to Hollywood with the Rock and John Cena, which he very easily could. Roman has done everything he can in WWE. There's not much for him. So if he went to after this, he was like, "All right, I'm done with I'm gonna seek new ventures in Hollywood." Go for it, man. He clearly has it. He clearly can do it. We all see how great of an actor he is just from the storyline alone. But anyway, getting off topic. Anyway, so as I was saying, he gets the table out there from the outside, sets it up. This is when Roman starts to get back into the match. They go at each other, they bring back into the ring. They start bringing in, this is when Roman brings in a kendo stick and just starts beating the shit out of Jay with the kendo stick. Eventually, as the match would progress onward, Jay would go on top for his Uso splash, but Roman would get up there and hit him with a Superman punch in midair that looked amazing. Eventually, eventually he would go for another Superman punch, but this is when Jay would bring it back into kendo stick, just throw it at him before he used to start beating the shit out of him with it till it's straight up like broke in half. Pretty crazy stuff. Eventually Roman later on in the match, I'm kind of skipping ahead a little bit. Roman realized he don't want the smoke no more and would go out to the outside. And bro, we gotta talk about this one guy in the crowd, bro, because I don't know if this guy was a plant because of how well you could hear him in the broadcast, or if this is like a legit fan that's like really invested into the Bloodline storyline. But there was someone in the crowd once they like really started to get deeper into the crowd area, where there was this one guy you could hear just screaming like, "Do it for Jimmy!" and like other stuff. Like, bro, man was into the match, bro. He kind of low-key enhanced the match with him like, screaming his head off at like Roman and Jay and everything, man. Like, no lie, this guy was the MVP, man. No lie, that guy was the MVP. This is when Solo entered the fray and just like rock bottoms the fuck out of Jay into a table, man. Like, the man just like really like put his fucking back into that rock bottom he put in there. So then literally Solo grabs him by his arm and literally starts dragging him back over to the barricade. Well, a little bit before that he picks him back up and then just dumps him over there. They go out to they go back inside the ring. They go for that Samoan spike spear combo, but Jay manages to get out of the way and Solo is the one that eats the spear. Jay hits him with Roman being looking absolutely flabbergasted when this happened. Jay would come out of nowhere to hit Roman with his own spear. Near fall. As the match would progress onward, they would go out to the outside. Solo would be looking at Roman like, bro, the fuck you doing, bro? Why you spearing me, bro? You know, and Roman's like, bro, you really want to do this here, bro? You really want to talk about this here, bro? And while they're arguing, bro, Jay hits him with another spear through the barricade. Eventually, he would go back to Solo. They beat him up a little bit, then throws him on top of the announce table. And then Jay gets up on the little LED board barricade thing they got right behind the announce table, which actually. So you could actually see there was someone like helping that Jay was kind of like leaning on to make sure he got up there, which makes me wonder if that was a legit fan or a plant. I assume it's a plant because I don't know why Jay would be leaning on random fans to help make sure he gets him out because you know what these people's intentions are, you know? So I don't know. Maybe it was a legit fan. Maybe it was a plant. I'm not sure. I would assume it's a plant, but then again, it could have been a legit fan given the placement of it. I don't know. Regardless of such, man, you know, he gets him up there. Uso splash onto Solo onto the announce table. He gets back with Roman, does the multiple running the rope spear thing. Then goes for an Uso splash. When we think he's won the match, the ref starts counting 1, 2. Jimmy rips him out of the ring and reveals himself to be the traitor or whatever, or the guy that ripped him out. Now. Obviously, people have been kind of confused on this, given Jamie is the one that's been starting all this shit and the one that kind of like let this whole thing with Jay go out and, you know, start off the whole thing with Night Champs. Why would he betray his brother? Why would he come back to Roman? Now, some people, like I mentioned my man Emmanuel, he mentioned this, how he's kind of done with the storyline because of this. I told him that I'm going to let the game cook because they could make this work. I'm awake before casting done it. And plus, there have been other times there the bloodlines where people said they should have done this, and they thought that they made the wrong call, but they're making the right call. And people were saying, oh, so Sammy should have been the one to beat Roman. Which, I mean, to be fair, you could probably send me the argument for that, but given what we had with the tag title match, I feel that was probably better off anyway. Just given the storyline was always more sore with Jay, and they also said that Jay should have turned on Sammy at Elimination, which they didn't. They hold off, and then I think it was better for it. And the storyline in general was better for it for the moment at WrestleMania. So, something like this could happen. So there's that. It's probably the easiest one. They might be the one that goes with. It's certainly the simplest one. Another one that I actually saw on Twitter is that perhaps the Elders, or hell, even Rikishi, could have been the one to tell Jimmy to go out there and help Roman to win the match. Perhaps. Like I said, there's still ways to get around this. I'm still very much intrigued. I was losing my goddamn mind when I saw this, bro. I was absolutely flabbergasted when I saw this, man. Like, I'm gonna let the game cook and the Roman and his team and everything, because I'm sure they probably have something in store for this, man. But we will have to wait and see on that what's going on with Jimmy's betrayal. I'm still very much invested into the bloodline story. Could you make the argument that they're just dragging out to get it through WrestleMania at WrestleMania 14 when Cody wins? Sure, but I'm still very much invested. I mean, hell, I haven't been this invested in some family beef since the Todoroki family in Hirawaka. Then again, season 6 was only like last year, so I'm not saying much, but y'all get my point, man. The Todoroki family just, easily one of the best parts of Hirawaka in its second half recently, man. But anyway, I'm getting on top. So anyway, Jimmy leaves. Roman is absolutely flabbergasted. What the fuck, all this going on? Spear through the table, and Roman retains the belt. Like I mentioned before, overall this was a phenomenal match, by the way. Love the storytelling that Jimmy and that Jay and Roman were doing, man. Of course, Paul Heyman was doing his thing, man, and everything. Just a phenomenal match overall, all around, man. Jimmy, obviously, we're kind of got some question marks on him. I'm personally still interested in this, man. I'm curious to see what they're gonna do, how they're gonna explain this, why Jimmy would betray his brother when he was the one that started all this. We'll have to wait and see on that, but I'm definitely very much intrigued by this. Anyway, guys, let's end this video off. Overall, my final verdict for SummerSlam this year is going to be a 9 out of 10, man. Overall, this was a fantastic show, in my personal opinion. A lot of great matches, man. And yeah, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Like if you did, subscribe if you're new. Follow me on my socials if you feel like it. Links down in the description box below. And as always, come back for more. See you guys next time.